Now let us start exploring the main characters of Ramayana in the context of second half of 3rd century BC. So what are these characters? Lord Ram. But Lord Ram comes in three forms, Ramayana. One form is the child Ram, who goes to education. Second is Prince Ram, who is banished. And third is a warrior Ram, who attacks Sri Lanka. Other character important is Sita, Lakshman, Rama's brother, Rama's father, Dashrath, Rama's stepmother, Kaikeyi, Hanuman, Sugriv, Bali, and Angad. And most important is Ravana, the villain. Can you find all these characters just by looking at history of second half of 3rd century BC? The answer is yes. Once you put the time frame of 222 BC around that period and put Emperor Ashok as the key, then all these characters start unraveling. Let us start with Prince Ram. Prince Ram is the most liked prince, an obvious heir to the throne, and is liked by father, liked by people. But one fine day, suddenly he's banished from the court. He is no longer a prince. He is sent wilderness along with his wife because of stepmother Kaikeyi's cunning plan. According to some people, she was actually given this plan by her maid called as Manthana. So this sort of Ramayana's problems are there happening in Prince Ram's life at a very young age. Is there any parallel in actual history? Now the question comes: can you actually really find actually history? Because whatever the books were written, predominantly they are written by Buddhist monks. Buddhism is very good in documenting, chronicling everything. Now they also write these chronicles, documentation with a purpose, and it comes with various versions. Now, when various versions are available, how to know what is truth and what is exaggeration, what is imagination, what is confusion? Very simple. Read all the versions and find out what is common thing in there. And this applies to right now today also. No article is complete truth. For example, just take an example of our suppose any war happens now, or suppose recently inauguration of our parliament. Suppose 10 people you give task to write an article about it, 10 people will write it different way. They will have their own perception, ideas about it. And now imagine 10 people writing at 10 different times, there are a lot of variations. So first of all, we have to find out many versions, all versions, and find out the commonality in that. And find out whether that commonality fits into the actually literary character of these Prince Ram, Sita, Hanuman, Lakshman and all those things. Let us start with Prince Ram. Let us start with evidence. What is the evidence? Is the Buddhist literature of Ashok and so many literatures are there. Deepa Vamsha is there of Sri Lanka. Even Song came, who came from China. He also wrote a lot of things about that. So what is that core issue? And then different versions. Let us see with the common version. Historical Prince Ram. He is nothing but Prince Kunal. Now who is Kunal? Emperor Ashok had a lot of wives, a lot of children. He killed all his brothers almost, and then came to throne. And then he had, among all the princes, most likable, lovable boy was Prince Kunal. He was just, he was brave, and he was liked by all. And he was about to become king very soon. But the destiny was different. His stepmother actually planned something against him. Now, what was the plan has got different versions. One version is she actually wrote a letter where she made some changes in the grammar. For example, the Prince Kunala was sent for education, and in Prakrit, the word for study is adhyu. She put a dot on that. They made it andhayu. Adhayu means study, andhayu means blind that boy. And that letter was sent to the clerk And Clark was shocked. How can the emperor, his own father, ask his most loved boy to be blinded? And then looking at that, the boy, 8-year-old boy, rushed to the letter, took the letter forcibly, read the letter, and he said, no, when father says something, that is the order from God. I will not disobey my father at any cost, even if it is harmful for me. And he took the red hot iron and put himself into eyes and blinded him. That sad story. And that story is so sad that the Kunal name itself is bird with beautiful eyes, the child with beautiful eyes, and the child blinded himself at 8 years of age. Of course, this is a version. Very hard to believe that 8-year-old child, even if he's so much obedient to father, he will blind himself. Another version is there. Kunala was actually quite young adult. He was sent to Takshashila. Takshashila was a province of Mauryan Empire. And the letter was saying that bring 2 jewels from Takshashila treasury. And his stepmother did some grammatical mistake, and the 2 jewels were spelled as 2 eyes. And so he removed his own eyes and sent it as a gift to his father, the sacrifice. Third version is there. Many versions are there, this one. And among all, there is a common thing is the stepmother. What is the stepmother's name? Is a Tisharakshika. Tisarakha. Tisarkha means prince. Rakha means protects or king. One who protects the king. And she was the most favorite wife of Emperor Ashoka. Now his most favorite wife plans some conspiracy against the most favorite prince, who happens to be her stepson, because she wants her son to become the emperor next time. And because of this cunning plan, that particular prince is banished, he becomes handicapped, he wanders around in mountains, in some alone, in some versions with his wife. And after many, many years, this unfortunate person comes back to the Patliputra, the capital of Magadh, and he starts singing a very sad tune to the destiny. And that tune is heard by Emperor Ashoka. And he knows this tune, my God, this tune is something is known to me, familiar to me. This voice is familiar to me. And he's shocked to see his own son in this condition. And he repents. But it is too late. Blind person can't rule the empire. So this is such a sad story. But many versions are there. But commonalities here is Emperor Ashok, his favorite son Kunal, stepmother planning against him, removes him, banishes him, and he's thrown into wilderness. And this is very unjust or unfair thing to happen. Even if it is imagination or whatever case may be, it's very unfair. Just imagine that particular situation or banishment of the most favorite prince would have caused such a big news in all over Indian subcontinent. So that particular thing actually happened. Now, this particular situation can be matched to the real. We should not go by only that. Are there additional similarities? According to some versions, that stepmother, Tisharakshika, is actually a maid of the older queen. She's good in dancing and all, and she actually impresses the emperor, and she becomes a queen. So she is a cunning queen. According to some versions, that Tisharakshika means one who protects the king. And in Ramayana also, this stepmother of Ram actually protects Dashrath. So Dashrath is obliged to follow whatever she requests, even if it is unfair. And in Dashrath or Rama's version, this one of philosophy, once you give a promise, you have to live up to the promise. Even if it is harmful to you, even if it is unjust, you have to actually follow the promise. So this sort of very dramatic event in Indian history, I will call it history. I won't go in that blinding thing or something, but banishment or stepmother, stepson, some court politics happening, and Emperor Ashok, and then Emperor Ashok repenting. Here Dashrath repents, what mistake I have done. Here Emperor Ashok repents, what mistake I have done. So this sort of thing is quite parallel to the Ramayana story, first part of Ramayana story of Lord Prince, the Lord Ram being banished from the court because of no mistake of his, but cunning scheme of his grandmother. Now this is only one. One part. Next part is this one. We can't depend on only one character. We have to find out all other characters. Not only all other characters, but to find the places in Ramayana. What is Ayodhya? What is Kishkinda? Where is Lanka? And who is Ravana? And why the war was fought? Can you imagine that all these things can be seen in history? The answer is yes. We'll see one by one. Thank you.